everybody, welcome back to my channel. And today it seems like we just keep getting more and more and more confirmation of what I and so many other people have known and have been saying for years, whether it's on our YouTube channels or on Twitter or any other platform, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is. This is what we have all known and have been saying for years, and it is the fact that Disney never once had a plan for Star Wars from the beginning. These are people who had the biggest IP in the history of cinema, and they chose to go through with making 3 movies, with making a trilogy without even having just the basic idea, just the basic, simplest idea of what they wanted the story to be. And we got more confirmation of that. We already got some confirmation from John Boyega. If you guys saw my video on that, you guys already know about that. But now it seems like even Daisy Ridley has come out and just given us more proof of this, and it's this video right here. It's this interview. I think it's an interview that she did with Josh Gad, where she basically talks a little bit about the behind the scenes of when it came to her character. Now we're going to be watching this in a bit, but again, it's just absolutely beautiful because, again, we just keep getting more and more confirmation of what I and so many people, basically anyone with any common sense, has known for years, and that is the fact that Disney and Lucasfilm are a bunch of idiots who never had a plan from the beginning, never even once bothered to make a plan of what they wanted the sequel trilogy trilogy to be, and as a result, we got probably the worst trilogy ever made in the history of cinema. Okay, now I'm not going to put this off any longer. Let's go ahead and watch the video. Let me just go on ahead and put on my headphones right here, and let's go ahead and watch this video. Okay, here we go. Let's listen in.
Have you been keeping Rey's secret from the beginning? Did you know about the parentage? Tell me about that journey of when you found out.
No. At the beginning.
Okay, so right then and there, a lot of people have apparently been trying to say, they've been trying to defend it. They've been trying to defend the fact that apparently it was always planned that Rey was going to be a nobody. And they made fun of everyone out there who kept saying that maybe she was a Kenobi, maybe she was a Skywalker. And yes, some people even theorized that maybe she was a Palpatine. And the reason why they did that is because they thought that it would at the very least give us some semblance of an explanation as to why she was so powerful with the Force, especially if she was a Skywalker, because as we all know, Skywalkers do tend to be insanely powerful with the Force, since, Anakin Skywalker was a child created by the Force. He was, if he didn't get maimed and injured in Mustafar, he would have gone on to become probably the most powerful Force user in the history of the galaxy. Now, obviously, because of his injuries, that didn't happen. He was still pretty damn powerful. But of course, as we all know, if you know the expanded universe, Luke himself probably went on to being insanely powerful with the Force. If you know about the Luke in the expanded universe, the real Luke Skywalker, Jedi Grand Master Luke Skywalker, then you know how powerful with the Force Luke ended up becoming. And again, it's just like it would have given, and I know that they decanonized the expanded universe, and as a result, that Luke isn't the Luke that's in canon anymore, which was a big fucking mistake on Lucasfilm's part. It's still like the fact that Skywalkers are born with insanely powerful connections to the Force is still canon because of Anakin, and of course because of Luke. And if Rey was somehow connected to Luke in some way, like if she was his daughter or something, it would have been an explanation. Or if she was a Palpatine, then again, yeah, that would have been an explanation. Although it still wouldn't have explained how she became, how she was just automatically so goddamn powerful with the Force. Like she still would have needed training, just like how Luke and even Anakin, the chosen one, yes, he is the chosen one, still needed to train. I mean, it still wouldn't have fixed it, but it would have been something. Okay, like it still would have been something. So that's just, sorry, I just needed to address that real quickly. All right, let's continue.
There was toying with like an Obi-Wan connection, and then it really went, there were like different versions, and then it really went to that she was no one. And then it came to episode 9, and JJ pitched me the film and was like, "Oh yeah, Palpatine's granddaddy," and I was like, "Awesome." And then 2 weeks later, he was like, "Oh, we're not sure." So it kept changing. So then even I was filming, and I wasn't sure what the answer was going to be.
Okay, see, okay, right there, right then and there, just what she said right there. Let's just back up a little bit. Let's just back up a little bit to hear again, once again, what she just said, because that part especially is crucial.
And I wasn't sure what the answer was going to be.
Wait, sorry, I missed that. Let's just go back a bit. Okay, this part specifically.
Changing. So then even I was filming,
Even as they were filming episode 9.
and I wasn't sure what the answer was going to be.
Even as they were filming episode 9, they had no idea what they were doing. Again, it's just, I mean, Jesus Christ, you hear about incompetence behind behind the scenes. You hear about, cases where, people working behind the scenes, like they don't really know what they're doing. Like, I mean, they're trying to figure things out as they're going along. But Jesus fucking Christ, I mean, you would think that they would have something as simple as a character's backstory. Like, that is probably one of the first things that you need to know before you go into writing your story. It's just okay, this is actually more fitting. It's just it's insane to me. And again, look, this isn't anything new. Like I said, these are things that we've all already known, and you would know this if you just had this thing called common fucking sense. If you saw The Last Jedi, then you would already know that they probably had no plan, because The Last Jedi felt so fucking disjointed. It felt so disconnected. Not disjointed, disconnected. That's the word I was looking for. Disconnected from The Force Awakens, that you were starting to think, wait a minute, what the hell's going on here? And then if you actually used your head for 2 seconds, you would know, oh, they probably didn't plan this. And then, of course, we started getting more and more information. And we I think I remember reading. I don't remember if this is true, if this has been confirmed, but I think they even said that Rian Johnson started writing out The Last Jedi as J.J. Abrams was filming The Force Awakens. So Rian Johnson didn't even bother waiting for the movie to be out yet, or he didn't at the very least bother talking to J.J. so that he would know what J.J. was doing, so that he could write out his movie to make sure it actually made sense, to make sure it flowed perfectly from one movie to the next. Instead, that's not what happened. Instead, is we get this big disjointed mess, and that's simply because Kathleen Kennedy is a fucking terrible leader. She has never been a good leader, and I still don't get why there were people defending her throughout as this trilogy was happening. Well, actually, we know why. It's because the people who defend her are a bunch of fucking shills. They're a bunch of shills who will do anything to be in the good graces of the mouse, who would never say anything in order to piss them off. And even if they do say anything even remotely negative, they still find a way to say it that doesn't put Disney at a disadvantage. They'll find some way to blame the director, or they'll find some way to blame some other reason other than just stating the fact. And the fact is, Kathleen Kennedy is a terrible leader. There was no communication behind the scenes. There was no communication between Rian Johnson and J.J. Abrams when it came to making The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, and that's why it felt so disconnected. And there wasn't even any planning that went into that went into filming the Rise of Skywalker Episode 9. And again, you just got some more confirmation from the actress who played the main character of the trilogy herself. Even she herself didn't know what her character was going to be. And she even confirmed, like, as they were filming, J.J. Abrams still didn't know whether he would make her a Palpatine, or if she would be a Kenobi, or if she would be a nobody. They didn't know, and it's because they're a bunch of incompetent morons. And this just feels fantastic, because again, we just keep getting confirmation of what we've already known, confirmation of what we've already been saying. And like I said in the video that I made about John Boyega and his comments, now we're going to see who are the real shills, because and I'm sure if you've been keeping up with the news, a lot of these mainstream media outlets have been coming up with their own fucking articles saying, yeah, Disney did nothing for representation, they did nothing for inclusion, they did nothing for all of this. Well, you know what I say to all of those fucking articles? Fuck every single one of you. Fuck every single one of you. You were the ones who kept coming out with articles calling us a bunch of a bunch of phobes, just because we called out just because we weren't afraid to state the facts, and that is that The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker were all fucking terrible films. Okay, we all stated the facts that Disney and Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy were only using Daisy Ridley and John Boyega and Oscar Isaac for diversity points. That's all they cared about, and you called us a bunch of ists and phobes because we stated the facts. And now you're trying to do this complete 180, and you keep posting these articles, and now you're calling out Disney. Now you're calling out Disney when you feel like it's safe. Go fuck yourselves, every single one of you. You do not get to now flip the script. You do not get to automatically start speaking common sense when you've been sucking Disney's dick throughout the past 5 years. Fuck every single one of you. Fuck you. All right, that's it. I'm going to end this before this just basically turned into a fucking rant. All right, that's it. I'm going to end this right here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Remember to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this. And if you did enjoy it, please consider joining me for my next video. Thank you so much. Bye.